Hello! Welcome to a new episode of Wallow Wallow News Game Reviews with me, Mrs. Smushie Hippo.
And me, Vader.
Today, we're going to play a game of Magic the Gathering. And it'll be me versus Vader. But, as we're feeling a bit lazy as it's a rainy Sunday afternoon, we're going to get our glamorous assistants to do all the work for us. So, I will be playing with the black deck, and Mr. Vader, you'll be playing with the green deck. So, without further ado, let's get playing. So, we shuffle it up. We've both shuffled before anyway. And we pick out 7 cards for our opening hand. Now we can have a look at our opening hands and decide whether we want to keep all our cards, or if they're not particularly going to do as much good in the first round, we can do what's called a mulligan and change it all. So let's have a look.
I think I'll keep mine.
You sound like you've got a good hand, Vader.
I may not.
Well, I'm actually going to mulligan my first hand, because it doesn't matter if I say it now, but I only had 3 power cards and some really high level characters, so I wouldn't be able to do anything for a while, and Mr. Vader would just be able to build and build and build and squash me. So, this time I draw 6 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But in a minute, I can look at the top card of my deck and decide to put it on the bottom or the top. Okay, interesting. Just for the camera, look away please, Vader. So that's the top card of my deck. And I think I'm going to keep it on the top of my deck. So we'll put our decks behind here just to save room. And as you can see on our lovely scoreboard, we both start off with 20 life. So, Mr. Vader, who's going first?
Losers go first.
I'm not walking into that trap. You can go first, Vader. So, as always, you play one of your lands to give you some power. And then, if you happen to have a card that only used that 1 power, you could play it. But most people won't. So now it's my go. And I get to pick up a card. We all know what I've just picked up. And I will join you in playing one of my lands.
Pick up the next one.
And it's now your go.
You'll go.
Okay. So I draw again. And add to my lands. So I now have 2 power. But I can't do anything at the moment, so I'm going to pass the go.
Another one. I put down another leafy bastard.
Is this reminding you of the Forests of Endor a little bit, Vader?
God damn it.
All those Ewoks.
And I will play.
So remember, Vader Bear, you have to tap home at how many lands you're going to use first. There you go.
Elf Druid.
So, just for you at home, the card says, when the visionary enters the battlefield, you can draw a card. So, Mr. Vader Bear, you can draw a card. And then when he's tapped...
Another leafy bastard.
When he's tapped, you can add an additional land, which is quite handy, I feel. And all new characters come into the game with a summoning sickness, so he can't attack this turn. Thankfully for Mrs. Smushie. Okay, so, my go. So I draw a card. Not useful at the moment, but maybe later. So, put down a swamp.
I draw a card.
And thankfully I can't do anything else, because Mr. Vader Bear seems to keep skipping ahead. He needs to wait until I've said I pass the go. But carry on.
And I add this instinct. To the elf. What cost me 2 leafy bastards. And I attack with +6.
So, thankfully, I can use 2 of my swamps. I can play this card, which I realise is going to be difficult for you to read. But it says, target creature gets -4/-4 until the end of turn. So that basically disregards this card. So actually, you can only do 2 damage to me. And that gets discarded at the end of this turn. So, I have to take the 2 damage, because I don't have any characters. So unfortunately, I go down from 20. This is rather difficult for my assistant doing this on an angle. To 18.
Not because of the angle, but because I've maybe been drinking before.
Be that as it may, still difficult on an angle. So, assuming you finished, if you want to discard your growth card, as it's only around for 1 turn.
Well, I wouldn't. I would like to do cool and harsh gameplay.
But you have to. So, I refresh and untap. And then I draw a card, which is pretty handy. I play a swamp, so I have 4 swamps now. I can do something with this. So, I'm going to tap all 4 of my swamps.
Gasp.
And play bum 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 this guy that we saw earlier. The Skeleton Archer. And it says, when Skeleton Archer enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. So I can choose. I could do it to the Visionary, but there's no point, as he's a 2/2 character and he'll just heal the damage. So I'm going to do it directly to Mr. Vader Bear. So he goes down from 20 to 19. Starting off the damage at last. So now it's your go, Vader Bear.
I pick up another one.
So they're all untapped now.
I have 5 at the moment. And
So just for
Well,
the camera,
spend.
so you tap so you can add another power.
So that's 6.
But are you attacking? You're not. What are you doing, Vader?
I will put this down.
Okay, so you've used 6 of yours to play that one. So yes, you're all of your injuries tapped. And he still has summoning sickness, so he can't attack. Okay, so it's my go. So untap. Draw a card. He looks pretty useful as well. So I'm going to play another swamp. So I have 5 nice swamps now. And I can do some stuff. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is actually use 3 of my swamps this time, I think. And I'm going to play Lost Legion, who I just picked up. So it says, when Lost Legion enters the battlefield, scry 2, which means I can look at the top 2 cards of my library, then put any of them on the bottom and the rest on the top in any order. So, let's have a look. What do we get? So, for the camera, that's what I picked up. So I can put any number of them on the bottom and the rest on the top in any order. So I think I'm going to leave them in the order I picked them up in, just on top of my library. So that's pretty handy. Now, I could attack, but the Dreadmore unfortunately has 6 health. I only have 3 with my Skeleton Archer, so I feel like I'm going to pass the turn over.
I will play another land.
So all your land is now untapped.
And add the Honey Mammoth.
You can untap him as well.
And I will attack with the Dreadmaw and the Visionary.
Okay, so
Trample. This creature can deal excess combat damage to a player or Planewalker. It's attacking.
So I still have 2 energy left, which I'm going to tap. And luckily for me, I have another one of these that I played earlier. Whoops. So, target creature gets 4/4 until the end of the turn. So I'm going to give 4/4 to the Dreadmore. So you're attacking me with both of these guys. And I'm going to block your Dreadmore, which now actually only has 2/2. And I'm going to block your Visionary, which has 2/2, and I have 2/3. So I knock out both of your units, and both of mine are still standing. I hope that was clear. So, I defended. Mr. Skeleton defended against the Dreadmore, so he knocks him out. And the Lost Legion defends against the Visionary. He does 2 damage, but he only has 2 health, so he gets knocked out. Well, that cleared up the battlefield a little bit. So I'm guessing it's my turn. Let's refresh everything. Oops, sorry. And I'll draw a card.
Ah, I forgot. I get 4 health, extra health, when I enter the battlefield.
Oh, very good point, indeed. So you go from 19, actually, to 23. Okay. Bit more of a challenge for me, Mr. Smushie, but we'll go with it.
Vader Bear.
Right.
Drinking catching up with you.
I meant Mr. Smushie has a bit more of a challenge.
Does
To
he?
defeat Vader Bear. So I'm going to play another swamp, which means I now have, I can't remember how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I have 6 of them. Okay. And then I will risk it. So I'm going to play Gormand, who is a pretty tricksy character. So quickly read him. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. So that's fine. It has flying, it has trample, and says when Gormand enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature. So I have to unfortunately sacrifice one of mine, so I'm going to sacrifice Lost Legion to play him. And Mr. Vader Bear, you only have 1 creature, so you have to sacrifice this guy. So I'll take him away. And then, obviously, my demon has summoning sickness, but my skeleton archer does not. So I'm going to attack with my skeleton archer, doing 3 damage, so knocking you back down to 20. And that's the end of my turn.
Netherland.
Ooh, what have you played, Vader Bear? You've played another Dreadmore. Okay. Trample guy. Right, so I'm assuming it's my go again. Refresh everything. Draw another card. What do I do, Mr. Vader Bear? Well, I'm going to use Demonic Embrace, I think. So it says, enchanted creature gets 3+1 and has flying and is a demon in addition to its other types. So I'm going to play this on Mr. Gormand already. So he has 5/5 at the moment. So he actually goes up to 8/6. And then, so I had to play 3 for that one. So I have 3 left. So I'm actually going to use my other 3 and put another Lost Legion onto the table. So again, when Lost Legion enters the battlefield, I can look at 2 of my cards. So they're the 2 cards on the top of my deck. And I think we will leave them as they were. So, I'm going to attack, I think, with my Gourmand Demon. So he has 8 attack and 6 damage, life, sorry. And he has the trample attribute. So it's up to you, Vader. You can block me or not.
How much damage?
So he does 8 damage, and you have 6/6.
I take the damage.
You just take the damage. Okay, no block. So you go from 20 down to 12. And it's your go.
Attack.
Okay. So you do 6 damage. I don't fancy taking 6 damage, really. I think I will block with my Lost Legion. So let's move him out of the way for a second. And I can absorb 3 damage because I have 3 health on this card, but he has trample, so he stays alive and still does me 3 damage rather than 6. So I go down to 15. So scores on the doors at the moment: Mr. Smushie with 15 health, Vader Bear with 12. And it's Mr. Smushie's turn. So draw a card. Let's refresh everything. Refresh on my health. Ooh. There we go. So I picked up a swamp. So I'm just going to play my swamp. You attacked last turn, so you can't actually block me, which is pretty handy. So I'm going to... Oh, whoops. Nearly cheated by mistake. Sorry. Obviously my Lost Legion got knocked out last time. So I'm going to attack with my Skeleton Archer. You can't block him because you attacked me last time. So you take another 3 damage, which drops you down to 9. And it's your game. So you play another land, and then you put down, ooh, who is this guy? Humble Naturalist. And it says, when you tap him, add 1 more mana of any colour. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell. Okay. So, you used up only 2 of your power. So, and you can't attack. Oh, you can attack because he's refreshed.
Attack.
Okay, so I can't defend with my archer because he's already done something, but I can with him. So, as we know, he has 8 attack and 6 life. So you're attacking with him, I'm going to defend with him, and they just take each other out. So both of us go bye-bye. But no one takes any damage. So, my go as Mrs. Smushie. Stop looking, Vader. Okay. Now, let's just check that I have enough power to play this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, thankfully I do. So, he comes back. I can tap all of my energy to play Demon of Loathing. He looks like a nasty character. So, he has flying, and he has trample. And then, whenever Demon of Loathing deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices a creature. So he looks like a bit of a tricky character. And I'm going to risk it, and I'm going to attack with my Skeleton Archer as well. So he has 3 attack and 3 health versus a 1 attack and 3 health.
Block.
You block. So, you block my attack. I survive, but that knocks your naturalist out. And it's your go, Mr. Vader. Play another land.
I can't do anything.
Oh, okay. So it's now my go as Miss Smushie. So refresh everything. Pick up a card. And I will play this. So I'm going to use 3 of my swamps. Whoops. And play Gloom Pangolin. He doesn't have any abilities, he's just fairly hardcore. So, I have a good opportunity here, and I can actually, hopefully, knock Mr. Vader out. We think. So, I'm going to attack with my Demon of Loathing, that has 7/7, and my Skeleton Archer, that has 3/3. Can you do anything, Mr. Vader?
No.
Gasp. Well, that's it. I do 10 damage to Mr. Vader. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is officially the first ever time that the black deck has won a game since we started playing. This is a momentous achievement, as we didn't think it was possible, and also proves that me, Mrs. Smushie, is amazing, and Vader Bear sucks.
Go away.
No. I won this time, you kept beating me in Destiny, so I'm pleased that I have won this time. Woohoo!
You suck. Bring it on.
Amazing, 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 amazing. It's Hippo time. Do 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 do. Anyway, that's all we've got time for today. We might get to play a rematch once we get some new decks that have been ordered yesterday. So stay tuned and watch for more Magic the Gathering. Like and subscribe below for more Wallow Wallow news and game reviews, amongst other things.
And tell us how much you think Mr. Smushie sucks.
That bit is not needed. So, have a good time, everyone. Good night and good wallowing.